Hi guys, and welcome to World Cup Daily. It was day 2 of the World Cup today, and what a day, what a final game. The big game of the day was obviously Portugal-Spain, and it did not disappoint. All the talk going into the pre-match, into the match, was all about, Spain and their managerial situation, the way they sacked Logopetui a few days ago, just before the World Cup, obviously because of his announcement and allegiance to Real Madrid, that he was just announced as Real Madrid manager without consulting the Spanish FA. They felt so betrayed. So they got Herrero in, the under-21 manager, former Spain player, and yeah, it was all the talk was about how this would disrupt Spain's preparations, how they would react to this. But although they didn't win the game, they certainly played a huge part in what was a superb game, by far the best game so far. I think we were all expecting that. The quality of football was so much better compared to what I saw last night with Russia, Saudi Arabia. Obviously, 3-3, what a game. Obviously, first half, Portugal started very well. They asserted themselves. Everyone expected them to be quite cautious, quite laid back, but they actually really got at Spain in the first 15 minutes in particular, and obviously got that goal through a penalty immediately into the game. They started very aggressively, and some question marks over the decision. It looked like it was potentially a dive, but penalty was given. I think it was a penalty. It was maybe a bit over dramatic from Cristiano Ronaldo, but it was definitely a penalty, and what a penalty it was. So composed, absolutely no chance for De Gea in goal. But Spain came back, Spain fought back, they raised their game significantly. We saw the brilliant passing that they're capable of. They just, when they get going, they're so good. There's so many great midfielders, great attacking players, Iniesta, Thiago, who came on, Isco, Busquets, Koke, David Silva, so many. I mean, they've left out Fabregas, Mata. I know Cazorla was injured, but he's still a sensational player. So yeah, and then they came back great. But although we talk about this sort of passing game, which was what we saw, and what we saw them come back into the game with, was that passing. But the goal came from a very untypical sort of move for Spain. Long ball up the top. They were trying to play to Diego Costa's strengths, which isn't what they normally do. Long ball from Sergio Busquets. Costa does what he does. He caused havoc, won the ball back, won the ball up very far up. Very poor header from Pepe, and he turned about 3 or 4 of them inside out before a brilliant finish into the bottom corner. Sensational player, Costa, when you get him in this sort of form. And I think he could, if they do play to his strengths, they could still play their nice passing football as long as they try and accommodate Diego Costa and his strengths. Then they have a player who can score them a lot of goals in this tournament. Especially looking at the game that I'm going to speak about after, looking at 2 not great teams. But anyway, yeah, Portugal fought back after that. Ronaldo hitting a shot, very poor goalkeeping from David De Gea, something you can't say often. So it was a shot which, 99 times out of 100 he'd save, but he parried it into the goal. Sort of Karius-esque moment, but he's still a sensational goalkeeper. That's something you'll probably, he makes a few mistakes, so especially in his early days at Man United. He's eradicated them quite a lot recently, but he's still error prone at times. I know it sounds ridiculous to say, because he is one of the best keepers in the world, but you let that in. Everyone makes mistakes. But obviously Spain came back. Brilliant free kick, well worked free kick. I think it was Isco, or was it David, or was Iniesta, clipped it to the back post, headed back across. Costa's right there. Again, not a typical sort of Spain goal that you would associate with Spain, but very well worked. A set piece, you expect them to pass 100 times and just get in behind them, but no. First 2 goals, a long ball, and then that, and then the third goal, a long shot. Again, not a typical Spain tiki-taka goal, but they're capable of mixing it up, and I think that shows that they can go far in this World Cup. What a goal! The technique, the way he cut across the ball, the spin on it from Nacho, posting in, it was just sensational. The second brilliant goal of the game, and then obviously the last one in the pretty much the 88th minute, I think. Ronaldo bends it round the wall, brilliant free kick. As soon as it came to him, he would score. My man of the match though was Isco. I thought he was sensational running the game. Some of his touches, his close control, his ability to create, and his ability to manoeuvre out of positions when he's surrounded by 3 or 4 players. I thought it was sensational, but a great game, very high paced. Both teams were going at it. We expected cautious Portugal, and there were periods of the game where they sort of sat back a bit more and sort of let Spain keep possession, but for the majority of the game they got at Spain, and I think they sensed, obviously because of the managerial situation, they could potentially go for it a bit more, and they did that, so it ended up 3-3. But anyway, the other games of the day, obviously not as major. Morocco, Iran. Morocco, it wasn't the greatest game. First half, Morocco started very well. I had a few good chances. Iran came back into the game, had a very, very good chance right before half time, which they probably should have taken. But, you know, they ended up getting the win with a last-minute own goal from Bouhadouz. It wasn't great defending. I mean, it's swung in. He's got to head that away. It's a simple header away. Iran have been gifted the 3 points, gifted the win, and you could see what it meant to the players after the game. First win in 20 years, I think, at a World Cup, and yeah, it was great. It was a great moment. It's the sort of moments you'd like to see, although it wasn't a great game. It's like the sort of moments you'd like to see at a major international tournament. That game, not the greatest, but Iran are top of the group. So yeah, I don't think they'll go through. I think you can see that Portugal and Spain are going to get through. But then in the last group, the Group A, the last game, or the early kickoff, Egypt, Uruguay, again a very poor game. That obviously going into the game it was all about Mo Salah. Will he start? Will he not? He didn't, and he didn't even feature in the game. And yeah, it wasn't a very good game, this one in particular. I think Egypt was trying to take the initiative, but Uruguay were trying to take the initiative. Egypt were quite cautious, but they got the goal in the last minute, a header from Jimenez. That's basically all there is to say about that game. It wasn't the greatest. But that's basically going to be it for this World Cup Daily. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these World Cup Dailies, and I'll see you in the next one.
I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change, even if I tried. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.